I like the idea that a voice can just go somewhere uninvited, like a dirty thought in a nice, clean mind.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Real Talk. I'm Jay, and we're here with our boy Cuzzo from Chronicles podcast and Overtime Reactions. Man, what's going on?
What's going on with you, Jay, man? How you been, man?
I'm good, and I'm going to do a little bit of complaining that you're going to tell me to shut the hell up about. So you live in Alaska. I live in Wisconsin. I had no idea what the hell a snow quell was until today. And I've lived in the Midwest my whole life, and we just got piled on for an hour.
Wow. Yeah, it's been here, it's been up and down. Like the roads are fucked up. Well, it's warm today. It's like 38, so it's melting, but it's supposed to rain snow mix for like the next week.
Yeah, I didn't have any snow in my front yard. Then all of a sudden I get this alert on my phone. Snow quell. I've lived in the Midwest pretty much my whole life. Didn't even know what the hell it meant.
That's what's up.
How does one end up in Alaska? Because most people, I think, they're like on the run or some shit, but you're doing podcasts, so that can't be the case.
No, that's not the case. So, I went into the military when I was 17. So when I went into the military, I actually had got stationed up here originally. So I did 2 tours up here. I had re-enlisted after my first tour, and luckily I got an extension. I had a E7, which is like a sergeant first class, if a lot of people don't know. And I had my first sergeant pushing to keep me because I was a 45 Bravo. So I fixed weapons and they liked it. So they wanted to keep a brother. So, I got some extension paperwork and they helped push it through. So I can't complain.
So that's how where'd you originally grow up?
In California, in Northern California, in the Bay Area. So I was born and raised in Vallejo for the first half and then Fairfield for the second half.
That's a big extreme though, like California, Alaska. So how long have you been in Alaska?
Since 99 now. Since fall 99.
That's the year my daughter was born. But yeah.
Really?
So you're just there? Are you an Alaskan lifer?
I don't know if I'm a lifer. The older I get, the winters, what they say is true. The older you get, the rougher the winters get. So I can't say I'm gonna be a lifer. But for now, I'm feeling good body wise, so I might tough it out a little bit longer.
I can't disagree with you though, because my wife and I are already looking to move south. We want to be out of here before next winter. We had it. So yeah.
Right.
You guys get way worse weather than us, and I think Wisconsin's bad.
Yeah.
So we'll get to overreactions and we'll get to overtime hustling, but I want to talk about the Chronicles podcast, and I want to know how that started. And man, 50,000 streams and downloads. That's what's up, my man.
I appreciate that. So originally I actually did music. I did rapping. So I stopped that. I had a friend who passed away years ago, rest in peace, Stretch. He always used to tell me, he's like, man, you don't have to really rap. I mean, you could do other stuff, just go out there and try something different. You can make it. You got a good voice, so you can make it happen. So, years later, I decided to get into podcasting, and, he unfortunately passed away like a month before the first episode. So, I pretty much did the first episode was a tribute to him, and I just been going ever since. From the beginning of 2016 to now, we just been going in. So originally it was just supposed to be me interviewing different people. So Lonnie Dangerous was actually the first interview in studio. And then what a lot of people don't know, I'll break it on Real Talk, but Lonnie and my co-host Docious, they're cousins. They're real life cousins. So I had Docious on the second episode, and I just loved the chemistry, the back and forth. And I was like, yo, man, you trying to keep it going? And he was like, yeah, let's keep it going. So we years strong in this now.
So how do you decide what you're going to talk about, man? Like, what do you decide? How do you go about it? Like, what's the general artistic view of make content creating for that show?
Usually it's basically whatever the current event is, whatever, I try to stay in tap with social media, whatever topic is people are talking about at the time, whether it's the Super Bowl halftime show, whether it's a mask mandate, whatever. We just try to keep current with the topics.
All right. I was hoping you'd lead in with that because I'm familiar with it, but I got a question for you. So I was kind of glad how you put that.
Absolutely.
You're a professional. So I really missed asking Lonnie Dangerous about this, and I was gonna when he was on, and we just had so much fun. I spaced it, right?
Right.
So I want to ask you, because you're hitting the topics, what's your feeling on this whole Joe Rogan issue?
I watch Joe Rogan. I don't watch Joe Rogan as frequently as I used to, and that has nothing to do with the controversy, but it has more so to do with, because I'm in real estate, so I don't have the time like I used to try to keep up. But I think at the end of the day, everybody has freedom of speech, whether you like what they have to say or you don't like what they have to say. And I think, unfortunately, with the Joe Rogan situation I think he might have upset the wrong people, because once the quote unquote system is after you, they're gonna put anything out there. Because I mean, to my recollection, this footage was out for a long time, and then it just resurfaced, and then it really got pushed. So I don't think it's going to hurt him ultimately. People that didn't listen to Joe Rogan already are just going to be mad anyway and don't really care. People that listen to Joe Rogan are going to keep listening to Joe Rogan. He's not going to lose any stock with this whole situation.
Yeah, for me, it was like I watch Joe Rogan off and on. He's got a lot of people on there that I like to listen to, and I used to really get into it with the different point of views. It's to me been more of like it changed over the years with Joe. I don't believe it's more so much of a conversation.
Right.
But then when I was listening to all that stuff, it was just the Planet of the Apes comment that really like, and me and my friends have been talking about it, you know what I mean? And it's just like, even to my black friends, I'll ask them, how do you feel? Because I'm coming from a different place. And all of them said the rants with the N-word didn't bother them as much as the story of how they landed in Philly.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's understandable. A lot of people are going to have a lot of different opinions. I mean, do I condone what he said? Absolutely not. I mean, I don't, like I said, it wouldn't stop me from listening because he does have great guests on there. It wouldn't, it doesn't make me want to listen more now. I mean, as a content creator myself, I mean, and even I'm pretty sure you'll admit, we're worried about our own content. We don't, we try to make sure our own content is out there and it's being pushed, and people are gravitating to it to where we don't have time to worry about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's getting a Spotify check, so ultimately our goal is to get that Spotify check too.
Right. So did you like the halftime show? Because I thought it was fire. I know there was audio issues and stuff, but that was my childhood in like 12 minutes. So I was really pumped about that halftime show.
Yeah, I thought it was a good halftime show. I think Dre and Snoop have contributed so much to hip hop over the years. And then you have Mary J. Blige. And then, of course, being from the West Coast myself, Kendrick Lamar, it was just a good show. I thought the memes of 50 hanging out upside down, though, were real funny. That was funny. But, I mean, ultimately, it was a good show. It's going to be interesting to see how it continues after this. Like, I mean, I don't know about you, Jay, but I don't expect it to be hip hop next year.
No, I don't either. I think this was Jay-Z's being footprint on what he's got going on with the NFL.
Right. So, I mean, I would say we probably wouldn't see another hip hop act maybe until 2025, maybe. So I mean,
hope you're wrong, but I think you're right.
I hope I'm wrong too, but I'm just being realistic. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it opens up opportunities. And I think every city that the Super Bowl's in, you get a chance to highlight, you know, artists from that city, from if it's going to be hip hop. So, you know, if it just happens to be in New York, you know, Jay-Z could do it. If it happens to be in Florida, you know, you could get maybe a Rick Ross or people that really influenced hip hop, you know, down there. You know, Texas, you could get artists. Georgia, you could get Young Jeezy, you could get Outkast, you can get, I mean, they should just do it whatever cities the Super Bowl is going to be in, just go off of that.
No, I don't think that's a bad idea either. I don't know what they're going to do next year because I don't know who the hell came out of Phoenix, but that might be a little bit rough. I thought Kendrick Lamar came hard. I loved it. I thought Mary J still looking good for being an older lady.
Right.
And there's people upset that Snoop was hitting a blunt before the halftime performance. And I'm thinking I'd be upset if Snoop didn't hit a blunt before the halftime performance.
Yeah, I mean that's Snoop's thing. That's how he relaxes, right? That's how he gets pre-game for him.
Yeah, I was just so excited about the halftime show because, like I said, it just brought you down memory lane. But I ain't gonna lie, because I'm a smart ass. My wife, I go get her for the halftime show because she watched TV in the other room because she ain't a sports fan. And she comes out and 50 walked out, and I said, 50 looked like $1.50.
Yeah, he did. 50 said he ain't got to be in shape no more. He's not rapping on tour, having to take his shirt off. You know, he could put a suit on every day, so he can bulk up a little bit.
I literally thought he had his bulletproof vest on for a second.
Yeah. I mean, but you know what they say, though? They say when you're bigger, that means you're eating good.
Right. I ain't mad at him. I was just caught off guard. You know what I mean? Like, live your best life, 50. You made so much just off vitamin water, let alone your music. Just go do you.
Yeah. I'm trying to be in the gym shaking some of this off 3-4 days a week.
Yeah, I can't wait I get more exercise in the summer, man. I need the warm weather to get back here so I can get some more exercise. I heard 50 got so much money though. He bought Mike Tyson's old house that has like 30 bedrooms in it just to put his artists up while they're recording.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's awesome. That's bringing people up with you. I just love to see that.
Right.
So before we move on, I don't know if you've noticed though, you did such a great thing. We asked you to promote your show and you give us a video pretty much promoting us.
Right.
And Brits cannot take compliments. So Maddie loves you for it, but it drives him insane every time too because they don't like compliments. But I'm not gonna lie, both of us always have to salute you back because we just can't help ourselves.
That's what's up. You know, I like promoting other people. So, you know, I believe that if I put that kind of energy in the air, that's the energy that's going to come back to me. So, you know, you guys, you have a great show with Real Talk, MMA Weekly, you know, guys that support me, whether it's Street Beef, Scrapyard, the fighters that DM me, you know, I appreciate the love. So I like to give the love back. So anytime you need a promo, anything you need, whenever you want me to come on, I'm more than willing to accommodate. I really appreciate the love you guys show.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. And we love watching you. But before we get to Overtime Reaction, how'd you hook up with OTH, Overtime Hustlin?
Oh, man. So Suge would probably be more accurate than me. So when I used to rap, I used to give him songs for the mixtapes because OTH used to have, you know, compilation mixtapes that they would put out. I hosted a mixtape. I would give songs for mixtapes. And then, you know, we just built a relationship. Me and Suge have actually never even met, you know, hilariously enough. But, you know, I've sat up here and I think he realized that, you know, I try to be about my business. If we're going to do something, I try to be a stand-up guy in the things that I do. And, you know, him asking me to do certain things and him coming to me with ideas and we bounce ideas off. And it's a great creative process. So, you know, when he asked me to sit up here and do something like reactions, I was all in. You know, now from doing reactions, I'm getting a chance to actually do interviews in the magazine. I do pretty much the sports stuff now. I do the contact sports stuff at least, and boxing and MMA fighters, I get to interview them for the magazine. So really, it's just him giving me the ability to, spread my wings and do different things I wanted to do, because I always wanted to be a writer for a magazine. So I get the opportunity to do that now. And then with the reactions, I've always been a contact sport fan, so boxing, a little bit of MMA, I've always been into that. So it was just an easy transition when he asked me, hey, you want to do reactions? Absolutely.
No, that's awesome. And OTH has always had our back. So I just shout out to them. Also, shout out Peixoto Clothes. They always got our back.
That's what's up.
So you get into the reaction videos, which is not an easy thing to do for people who think you just sit there and watch. It is not an easy thing to do. These reactions, I tried like 2 of them and was like, fuck that, I'm leaving it to Cuzzo. Like, those things are not easy. I did like a Wero fight and then like one other one, and I'm like, I can't do it. Because I don't know how you don't just jump the fuck up and run out sometimes, because I just jump and
I mean, originally when Overtime Reactions started off, we were just doing music videos. So, Suge had came to us. Suge and Freezus, I think, had a video of some street beefs. So we checked them out, and, Suge was like, why don't you react to this? And I was like, yeah, I'll react to it. And then doing one of those and then doing another one, it slowly started building up where we would do less and less, rap videos. I try to at least keep the rap videos at the end. So whenever you get a main event, you get the music kind of like as kind of like we're leading to exit the show for the night. But, reactions can't be, it's not easy. I'll say that, because you have to, I watch a lot of guys on YouTube, and, I don't want to bash anybody. I love content creators. Any kind of content creator, I love it. But a lot of content creators don't respect the art, and they don't respect the fighters. So, if a fighter, isn't in the best shape, they'll sit up here and make remarks about a fighter's physique, and, that's not the way to do it, because those guys are doing that. And it takes a lot of guts to get in there and put on gloves. It takes a lot of guts to get in the gym and train and prepare what these fighters do, just because it's not on a main event level like you want it to be, like on a UFC or a PBC, top rank. I mean, these fighters are still going out there and they're giving their all. So as content creators, at least I feel like it's my responsibility to call it, the way it should be called, and respect both the fighters. Whether who wins, who loses, you have to respect both of the fighters. And I think by doing that, it got me a lot of positive feedback, not only from people that watch the reactions, but from fighters themselves, because now I get DMs from fighters now. And it's like, oh, wow, I appreciate it.
Yeah, some of the best conversations I've had is with those fighters. And it don't matter if it, like, I've talked to a couple UFC guys on the show. I've talked to some Bellator people. I've talked to other promotions. I've talked to Street Beefs. And the one thing's always the same is there's such a respect level in the combat sports community. Right. So when you try to be a content creator and you disrespect the art of what they're doing, I think it rubs a lot of people the wrong way.
Right. Yeah, it can. I mean, and if you're trying to get into this content business and trying to move up and trying to, some of these people are going to be the same people you have to come across later on if you get bigger. You know what I'm saying? Whether you do an interview, whether they ask you to come in person. So it's always good to respect it. When I do reactions, I think one of the things that made reactions so successful for me, and, even with Suge telling me, is because I know what I'm looking at, so I'm not just, oh, wow, every time a heavy punch is thrown, people want to know, okay, what is fighter A doing and what is fighter B doing? What should fighter A be doing to adjust to fighter B? What are the changes that fighter A should make or fighter B should make in round 2 that's going to bring them success? You know what I'm saying? So I think people, when they watch reactions, they get comfortable in knowing that that's what's going to be told to them.
Also, you do a great job of, because you're on a video, obviously, so you're aware of it. but you can't be so aware that like reactions are fake. And you do such a great job of just being in the moment. And I really appreciate that and you guys do a great job of catching some of your facial expressions, like right here. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Like you can't fake that.
Yeah, you can't fake it. And, I think it's only been one, maybe two times we're on our 4th season now. So we're getting ready to close the 4th season. So now in almost 5 seasons, I've probably watched 2 fights in advance. So it's a genuine reaction because I'm not watching any of these fights in advance. So when I watch it, even though in Street Beef Scrapyard and the Facebook videos, they're talking about it and they post the videos, I don't watch them until it's time to do the reactions.
That's probably a good idea because then you're less apt to have to fake something. How do you decide which like fights you're gonna react to?
That's a tricky one. Like sometimes Suge will send me some. Shouts to Suge at OTH. We've been paying a lot more attention in the live chat. So when fighters request fights that they want me to react to, we're more prone now to do that, to try to build up, YouTube subscribers and, have fighters showcased who maybe join in the chat and they want to be showcased. And, hey, can you do a reaction? Absolutely. Anytime somebody sends something to Overtime Hustlin or they DM me with something, I'm more than willing to do a reaction to it because I look at it like as much content as we put out, doing this on a weekly basis, reacting to 6, maybe 7 fights a week. I mean, absolutely. Send your videos. We'll react to it.
I seen you in the comments. I'm a fan of Free Smokes fighting, and I seen you even had in the comments with him. So I think anytime you can do something with Free Smoke, because not only is he a fun fighter to watch, he's very nice. He's funny, and he will tell you to fuck yourself very quick. I just love that dude.
Yeah, shouts to Free Smoke, man. He's actually recently he reffed too.
Yes.
Yeah, so Free Smoke is multi-talented, man. I salute to him. He getting his hands dirty every way he can.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Invasion, so I'm excited to watch you do the reactions to the Invasion fights too as they get there. But so one of your last videos we're all watching, and in the comments, there's always this joke with the scrapyard fighters to get me into a beef with another podcaster and get me in the scrapyard, right? It's an ongoing joke. And I said, 1, it would have to be boxing. 2, it would have to be 1-minute rounds. I said, 3, you got to find an overweight podcaster to box with me. And they threw you into it. And I said, the only way I'm boxing Cuzzo is if I get to sit down with him and do the reaction afterwards.
I've been asked, I've been in the boxing gym before. So, it's been quite a while. I mean, right now I just do regular gym. So I do treadmill, I do ab work. And
I'm fucked. I don't do nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm very rusty. So, right now I think I haven't weighed myself because I'm just trying to lose inches, not necessarily pounds.
Right.
But I think right now I'm maybe 230.
Hey, we're sitting close to each other.
Yeah, I'm about 5'11", about 230, I'd say.
Okay, I'm almost 5'10", and I'm about 238 right now. So we ain't too far off. But
yeah,
that was just funny. I don't remember who put that in the comments, but they had me laughing because I'm like, there ain't no way you're getting me in there. Like I haven't been into a fight since I was in my mid to late 20s, and fighting's changed, man. You can't pick a fight at a gas station like when I was 20.
Right.
Nobody knew MMA. Now everybody knows some kind of you're in a pretzel, broken arm, things.
Yeah. MMA is definitely not my strong suit. I love MMA, but it's not my strong suit. I'd be boxing all the way. And I don't even think I've actually sparred. I'm trying to think the last time. I'd have to think about it, but it's been a very long time. Well over about 9 years probably.
Yeah, I got a rule. If you're talking shit to some dude in the bar and he's got cauliflower ear, just calm down.
Oh yeah, you gotta calm that shit down.
Yeah, just calm down. Like, cause that dude knows something you don't know because you don't have cauliflower ear.
Yeah, they'll put you the fuck to sleep in the bar.
So what's up? What's going on next for you? What you got coming up?
Man, we got 2 interviews coming up in the magazine next month. We have I'm doing Buddy V, and I'm
Shout
doing
out Buddy
Viking.
V.
Yeah, shout out to Buddy V, and I'm doing Viking Warrior. So next, I'm gonna have 2 interviews in the magazine next month. Overtime Reactions is going to be wrapping up its season, I think, on 3/6 or the following Sunday, because this one was kind of an extended season, because I only usually do about 11 episodes, but I know Suge wanted to do a live one for a Sunday. So we're going to do a live one in a couple weeks, and we're going to have a panel on there. So maybe you could join us for the panel,
I'm always
I'm
here.
game,
Let me know.
so I'll let Suge know. So yeah, so we got that coming. I'm thinking of I did a show on Instagram. It was strictly on Instagram. It was called Conversations with Cuzzo. And that was something I've been talking with Suge about trying to bring back. And that's pretty much, I sit down and kind of like this, kind of with, the Zoom platform or StreamYard or whatever. And I just talk with everyday people. I wanted to do a show where we just have conversations with normal people. The first episode, because I wanted to go out on a limb, the first episode was with a webcam model, and the second episode was with a podcaster. And so, I've been trying to, if I could bring back Conversations with Cuzzo later on this year, it's going to be good. So I'm going to be looking at, you might not know who it'll be. The guest could be a plumber. It could be somebody in real estate. It could be, somebody in the military. It could be a motherfucker that owns a sex shop. We just don't know.
No, those are perfect. I love those type of shows, because I started with Real Talk, and then I met Maddie, and I started doing a little bit of sports, and 2 episodes in, the George Floyd shit happened. I lost my mind. I started Real Talk, and next thing I know, I got 600 followers, but doing political shit got me angry. Right. So I met Maddie, and we went to sports, and I was telling Maddie, there's so many cool people we need to talk to, but that aren't sports related, and it's just conversation. So that's why Real Talk's back. I love that kind of content creating, just that conversation, no set agenda, and you just go in there and you never know what you're going to hear, and you get to learn a lot about other people.
Right. Yeah. And with Conversations with Cuzzo, I tell them off the top, I get to ask you anything. So if it's regarding your profession, if you're a stripper, I get to ask you whatever I want to ask you. So it's no holds barred.
No, that's good, because those are the best kind of questions, right?
Yeah.
You just ask it real. The best answer I got on the last video with Lonnie Dangerous was just all the real shit. You know what I mean? And he can't help himself but laugh, because it's funny. So he just made me laugh the whole time. But those are the conversations. Like SK was a dude I wanted to talk to.
Right.
Because if you listen to SK's music, he lived that shit. It wasn't just some made up shit that he
Right.
Yeah. You gotta let me make sure you guys pump that, because we need to know when Cuzzo's Conversations come back, because I think that'd be great.
I'll definitely let you know. I still got the episode, so I might give the episode to Suge so he can make that the official first one when we start. Because it started off on Instagram, but now that we got StreamYard and all that, and I really like StreamYard the way it looks, so I'm interested in maybe doing it on that. But yeah.
Yeah, anybody who wants to use StreamYard, it's great, but make sure you play around with it first, because we had technical errors our first live show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, other than that, I've told Steve at some point, I'd say maybe around springtime, I'm going to go to a scrapyard event live. So I am going to go down there. I'm planning this year on making a trip to one of the events in springtime and, catch it live.
No, I'm with you. I refuse to have a bucket list, because it makes me feel too close to the end. So I call it a fuck it list, and it's stuff I'm going to get to if I have to say fuck everything else. And getting to a scrapyard event, and I'd like to hit all the yards, but I know getting into the OG yard would be a little harder too. But with the guys that I've cultivated relationships with, West Coast and Street Beefs, I would love to be there. I'm a guy too. You got to put me to work. I'm not just going to stand around. Put me to work.
Right. Those guys are so great, man. I mean, all the Street Beef brands are great, but Scrapyard on a personal level, you could tell their atmospheres like family, the way they hold their events. you know, and it just seems like a lot of fun. And, you know, Steve has shouted me out multiple times whenever he goes live, and I really just appreciate it. You know, I'm just a guy just looking at it and talking about it. You guys are the ones putting on the events for people, and, you know, being a content creator is hard, but actually going and having to put up the event and get sponsors and find fighters that want to fight. And then sometimes the fighters have to drop out for whatever reason, whether they're sick or there's an injury, and you have to find a replacement. I mean, you know, a guy like Steve has to get his roses. We got to give him his roses, man. That's a hell of a job, and that's a hell of a brand he's put together.
Absolutely. And I remember one day I'm just sitting there. He does such good for everybody. And like I've always said, we're so blessed that the combat sports community has embraced us. But I'm watching his Kicking It with Chicken one day. Next thing I know, he's like, come on. And 5 minutes later, I'm on Kicking It with Chicken.
Yeah.
He's pumping the Yankee and the Brit. You know what I mean? Like, that's so awesome. And you guys, make sure you check out Kicking It with Chicken, and also check out Scrap Talk. And you got an interview coming up with Viking Warrior. You said that dude he's so much fun to talk to. He is not what you expect, because he looks like he could just like kill somebody. And he's got like 3% body fat, so I don't think he eats. Yeah.
He's a real, and he's a 2-belt champion right now.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's a badass, man, and, you know, more power to him. Like I said, you know, doing MMA and boxing, and being able to do both and be successful in both, that's a hell of a resume.
Well, I won't keep you all night, Cuzzo, but I appreciate you coming on so much and giving us your time.
Absolutely.
If you guys have not checked out Overtime Reactions with Cuzzo, go do that. If you have not checked out the Chronicles podcast, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So go check that out too. Thank you again so much, though.
Absolutely, man. I'm welcome. I'll come on anytime you need me to come on, Jay. I'll come on, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support.
Well, I love what you do, so just keep doing it, and thank you again.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. That's Chronicles podcast, and that's also Overtime Reaction on Overtime Hustlin on YouTube. Make sure you check that out. All right, guys. One world, one love. Deuces.
Everything's polluted. The environment, the government, the schools, you name it.
This radio person is the whole problem. Are we going to allow this guy to be heard by anyone who can turn a dial?
You out there? You listening?